Listen. If the Cowboys are officially eliminated from playoff contention, you and I both know the conversation quickly turns to protecting the stars. It's not a controversial idea. If Dak, CeeDee, and key starters risk longer-term injuries, the pragmatic move is to sit them down and let backups and young guys get snaps. But it isn't that simple, and you know it. There's culture to consider. The transcript hit this perfectly. You don't want to flip a switch and pretend to quit. The team that never quits is the team that keeps standards. That's why the smart approach is selective. Sit the guys who matter most physically, but keep enough competitive edge in the lineup, so losing doesn't become the new norm. So who should you protect, and who should still play meaningful snaps? Start with the easy ones. If Dak is dealing with lingering issues, and the season means nothing for the postseason, you get him healthy for 2026. Same for CeeDee. Long-term availability is higher value than one meaningless game. For offensive line concerns, rotate in backups like Nathan Thomas, or give Tyler Booker extra reps, because you want to see whether depth can hold up without risking your veteran tackle's health. The transcript suggested giving Joe Milton real reps if you're out of contention. And I agree. If the season's outcome isn't changing, you owe Joe Milton a true audition in live game reps, so you have a realistic evaluation going into the offseason. On defense, the thinking changes slightly. If you're evaluating young safeties or cornerbacks, now's the time to let them show it in real games. Let Donovan Wilson or the younger safety group flash, while older or expensive veterans get recovery time. Same with edge line play. Rotations give you real intel on who you might want to bring back or replace. The big danger is letting a "we're out" mentality spread. Coaches must communicate a clear goal. We're not tanking. We're safeguarding assets and giving the future a chance. That keeps competitiveness while still protecting high-value players. I also want you to consider incentives and optics. Sitting every veteran makes social media explode and can damage morale. Instead, be transparent. Explain the medical reasons, and show the youngsters getting opportunities. That narrative keeps fans engaged and gives you real evaluation material. Before I move on, quick poll for you. If the Cowboys are out of the playoffs, should Dak sit out the last 2 games? Vote in the comments, yes or no. And hey, if you find value in these daily breakdowns, smash that subscribe button to help us hit 17,000 subscribers, and hit the like button so YouTube knows you want more Cowboys content. That helps the channel grow and keeps these daily videos coming. Alright, let's be blunt. The defense hasn't been getting it done, and that's where most Cowboys fans' frustrations live. From the transcript, the core point was repeated. This unit needs to improve, not just in flashes but consistently. The offense can't carry every game, and you want the defense to keep you in ball games, create turnovers, and win the tough days. Right now, it feels inconsistent, and that's why every coaching move or roster tweak gets amplified in the rumor mill. First, scheme and personnel. The Cowboys have leaned into a lot of 5-man front looks and creative personnel usage. Things like Osa lined up as a 5-tech, Quinn and Kenny Clark moving between 3-tech and 1-tech roles, and versatile pass rushers cycling through. That gives you flexibility against heavy line offenses and short yardage situations, and the team already runs that package at a high rate. The upside, it can clog running lanes and create mismatches. The downside, if your edge rush and linebacker play can't consistently win their one-on-one matchups, you end up reactive instead of disruptive. Second, depth and contracts matter. Several key defensive pieces are free agents or on short deals in the near future, which creates uncertainty for building continuity. The transcript pointed out how thin the group could look in 2026 if certain guys leave. And when depth's thin, creative scheming only buys you so much time. You need reliable veterans and younger players who can win reps now. Now to the Antonio Pierce rumor. Would he be a fit as defensive coordinator? Short answer, I'm skeptical. The points from the mailbag are worth repeating. Pierce has NFL coaching experience and some defensive coordinator background at the college level, but his resume lacks extended experience as an NFL play caller. He had some success in specific roles, but there were leadership and organizational concerns in Las Vegas and questions about following program rules at Arizona State. Hiring someone who hasn't consistently called NFL defensive plays and who carries those off-field questions is a risk for a franchise that wants predictable progress. Pros for Pierce: he's a respected former player, can relate to NFL personnel, and brings energy and motivation. If you want a culture shaper who can connect with linebackers and DBs, he has appeal. Cons: limited proven NFL play-calling experience, past leadership discipline red flags, and the gamble of bringing in someone who might not be finished developing as a coordinator at the pro level. Realistically, the safer route often is to tweak the current staff, add a seasoned play caller or specialist coaches, and target personnel upgrades in free agency or the draft. Scheming can help, but coaching fixes only go so far without the right players executing. Quick engagement. Rate the Cowboys' defense 1 to 10 in the comments and tell me why. Be honest. I want to know if you think it's a coaching problem, a talent problem, or both. If you're enjoying the breakdowns, subscribe and help us push toward 17,000 subscribers. That keeps these videos rolling every day. Like the video if you want more deep dives. Okay? Now the juicy part. Justin Simmons. The mailbag host was blunt. Simmons remaining unsigned this deep into November is weird, and his guess is there's something teams and agents know that we don't. Contract demands, medical, or a value mismatch. I'll be honest with you, based on what we heard, I would have signed him months ago if the price, health, and locker room fit checked out. A veteran safety like Simmons would immediately upgrade your secondary and help a defense that desperately needs playmakers. The flip side is, you don't want to bring in a high-cost veteran who can't stay on the field, or who forces you into cap gymnastics that hamper other off-season moves. So the question isn't just, do you want Simmons? It's, can you get him at a price and health profile that makes sense for Dallas in 2026? If the answer's yes, I'm signing him in a heartbeat. Beyond Simmons, the mailbag had some realistic names to consider for 2026, and I agree with the priorities the host laid out. Edge and linebacker depth, plus at least one safety and possibly a tackle stopgap. The transcript mentioned Braden Smith as an intriguing veteran right tackle option if he hits free agency. A short-term fix that could stabilize protection while you sort the long-term plan. Quincy Williams as a cheap, energetic linebacker rental was another name floated. The kind of low-risk move that can add depth and not break the bank. Jaquan Brisker came up too, but remember, the host warned that Brisker and Matt Eberflus reportedly didn't mesh well late in their stint together, so that relationship dynamic matters if you're seriously considering him. Look at positional reality. Edge is huge. The host pointed out that by the time we get to off-season, several pass rushers are free agents. Dante Fowler, Jadeveon Clowney, Sam Williams, while Donovan Ezeraku, and James Houston were listed as under contract. That instability means you should prioritize bringing at least one reliable edge rusher in free agency or trading up in the draft for one. Safety is next. The Cowboys' history of cycling through safeties means adding a veteran playmaker could be a priority, especially if Donovan Wilson isn't back. Linebacker depth and possibly a veteran tackle stopgap round out realistic targets. Money and timeline matter. You aren't going to land every shiny name. Target players who fit scheme and cap, prioritize edge, safety, and use one-year rentals when you need flexibility. If Simmons is available at something close to market value and with clean medicals, sign him. If that's not true, spend on an edge or a dependable inside linebacker, and use the draft for safety depth. Quick question for you. Which free agent would you sign first for 2026? Comment: Justin Simmons, Braden Smith, Quincy Williams, or another name. Type it. Vote and explain why in the comments. I read them. Also, if you want these daily Cowboys breakdowns to keep coming, subscribe and help us hit 17,000 subscribers and smash that like button, so YouTube knows you want more. Alright, closing this out with the practical roadmap, what the Cowboys should prioritize this offseason, and how to actually build toward 2026. Based on everything we've discussed, you want a clear hierarchy. Edge rush, safety, linebacker depth, a possible tackle stopgap, then receiver depth. Edge is the obvious number one. The pass rush and depth there are precarious, with several impending free agents and rotating backups. If you can land a true difference maker off the edge in free agency or trade into the draft for one, that's your fastest path to making the defense consistently disruptive. Safety comes second for me because playmaking back there would immediately help with coverage breakdowns and give the defense more freedom to gamble. If Donovan Wilson isn't back, add a veteran playmaker. And yes, if Justin Simmons is available on reasonable terms, he checks boxes. But don't mortgage the offseason for one name if the price or medicals are iffy. Linebacker depth is next. You need at least one veteran you trust to play 12-14 snaps a game without losing units on calls and tackling fundamentals. The draft's linebacker class looks solid, per the transcript take, so pairing a veteran rental with a draft pick makes sense. Tackle OL is situational. If Braden Smith, or another veteran tackle, is an affordable stopgap, that stability protects Dak and keeps the offense functional while you draft long-term solutions. Receiver depth is evergreen. You never have too many reliable targets, but it's lower priority if the front seven remains unstable. Roster moves should be surgical. Use one-year rentals to plug holes, edge or tackle. Prioritize contract-friendly veterans who won't block future flexibility, and use early draft capital to land a blue-chip edge or a high-upside linebacker, depending on how free agency shakes out. Don't overpay mid-tier safeties if you can get quality options in rounds 2 to 4. The value is often there. Also, remember the comp pick angle. Players who earn incentives, like Rico, can generate extra draft currency. So keeping an eye on how those situations play out through the season matters for your draft board. From a coaching and evaluation perspective, the staff should focus on giving younger players meaningful reps late in the season, so you enter the offseason with clearer grades. That means the balancing act we talked about earlier. Protect the stars, but don't hide talent you'll need to evaluate. Communication with the fan base matters too. Explain the strategy so the optics don't look like tanking. Final practical checklist for you as a fan to watch for this winter. 1. Does the team pursue an edge rusher aggressively? 2. Are they shopping for a proven veteran safety or waiting on the draft? 3. Do they sign a short-term tackle option to stabilize the line? 4. How many defensive snaps do the young DBs and linebackers actually get late in the season? And what grades do they earn? Before I sign off, one last engagement. Which pick would you use at number 19 next year? Comment your choice and why. And if you're getting value from these daily breakdowns, subscribe to help the channel hit 17,000 subscribers, and hit that like button so we can keep pumping out Cowboys content every day.